beautiful colours on a beautiful evening. Travelling from Workington back to Warwick Bridge, Carlisle. What a difference the weather makes when it's like this though. So much better. Perfect time of night as well. 10 to 7 at night, or late evening. Not a thing on the roads hardly. My last job of the day, this one. Perfect. Yeah, I do realise how lucky I am to have a job like I love. Driving around places like this, it's just amazing, isn't it? Amazing. The countryside looks so much nicer with sun, blue sky, and the odd wispy blue cloud as well. Through the day, this is usually really busy with wagons and tractors and stuff, and it takes an age to get from A to B on here. Average speed about 45 miles an hour. So much difference a few hours make. My dad used to say to me, it's as good as winning the lottery if you like your job. Still wouldn't complain with a few million quid though. Funny, isn't it, how a bit of blue sky makes the world feel so different. Look at that, not a car in front. There probably will be, because I mean 100% I stick to the speed limit. Not just because I'm a taxi driver, it's because I want to anyway. So there'll probably be some cars overtaking me in a minute, because they'll be saying, look at that slow taxi driver sticking to the speed limit.
So Darren will join us
think I'd like to live there, right on the main road. Bloody noisy.
What did you win? Remind me, Ali, for meeting 11 million people.
I've won a number of prizes, including 2 match tickets to Arsenal games. I've visited Arsenal Fulham and Arsenal Manchester United.
Gorgeous round here, isn't it?
So basically, it was the whole trip paid by the Premier League, and it was a fun experience.
Happy days, and now you're back in it.
Go on, you put your foot
Have you got
down.
any tips? Because there'll be a lot of people listening to this who are going to try and emulate you. So what are your tips?
We just passed the deadline of the first game week, so
Because the national speed limit is not enough for you.
trust your gut, enjoy it, and have fun because it's a
You won't get any further forward.
And just be informed about the news, about the upcoming talents, and maybe the good performers. It's all about fun. Just don't forget to have fun playing FPL.
Yeah. So can you tell us your team then? Is it a matter of public record now? Your first team out this season?
Yeah, my team is Saka, Cook, Emil Smith-Rowe, which I'll be watching later tonight. I have Thiago Jota from Liverpool. I have Isak from Newcastle, Salah Kane and Liverpool Spurs, Haaland of course, Arnold, Zinchenko, Pedro Porro. So I have a good mix of good players, some leading teams.
Someone just texted the show. I don't know if it's a direct reference to you, but picking Haaland is cheating.
He's a cheat code, to be honest, but he came a little bit pricey this year. He's 15, I think he's 15 million, and it's not that easy to have him in your team.
Have you made sacrifices elsewhere to get him in and afford him?
Yeah, it's sacrificed Salah. It was arguably one of the best FPL assets the Premier League have seen. So basically, I'm going without Salah, and I think he's going to punish me for that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Haaland, I mean, he's a great player, isn't he? But you know, is he, I was not going to say is he all that, but is he the banker that he was when he first started? I don't know. I don't do fancy football. I mean, I'll pick a team for match one and then get fed up. It's you know, you've got to be in it for the long haul, haven't you? You've got to really study this week in, week out.
I think the ceiling is there, so he's still young, and the best years are ahead of him. So that's why I backed on him rather than Salah, because Salah has been amazing for Liverpool, but I think his best years are behind. He could do some damage still, but I think Haaland is on the rise.
Yeah. Well, look, we were saying you didn't do great last year, but you came in the 8,000s, which doesn't sound brilliant. But when you consider there might have been 11 million people playing, it's still not bad.
It was disastrous out of my game. You got to monitor.
Yeah, old wind turbines.
You have to take risks and support the games. I took a lot of risks and just backfired. So
Well, look, so are you?
Can't believe there's a little office in there.
Do you live there, Alan?
I basically have the most, but yes.
Okay, so I guess you're excited for the Premier League because I mean you can probably watch every match out there, can you?
Yes, we can. And a lot of Premier League fans out there. We enjoy English football. We love to play ourselves, and we just watch it every weekend.
Good luck this season. Great to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good luck to you as well.
Bye bye. That's FBL Guns with a Z. Ali Jangoff. That's not bad.
Just wait there, Mr. Tractor Driver.
As we try and get your footballing weekend off to the best possible start. So much to get into and what a panel to do it with. Nigel Rio-Coker, Don Hutchison and Glenn Murray. Three men I'm so happy to be back alongside this season. Don, let's get straight in. Is this the year Arsenal can finally get the edge over Manchester City?
Oh, good evening, Ledge. Good evening, everyone. I still believe Man City will make 1 or 2 signings, but if they don't, I'm going to give Arsenal a 50-50 chance.
Glenn, will any of the 3 promoted sides avoid relegation?
Well, I'm looking at the 17 Premier League clubs that survived last season, wondering who will be replaced for us seem to be that conversation, Fletch. Either way, with the Premier League clubs continuously strengthening, it's going to be a huge task for the 3 clubs making the step up.
And Nigel, who's going to be the breakout team this season?
Breakout team this season is going to be Crystal Palace. Those Eagles will be flying high. If they can keep hold of their lead as they're an exciting team of youth and experience, they'll be flying high.
So loads to cover this evening. We'll have the return of the treble. We're going to be playing higher or lower, over or under.
Imagine this being your office, man.